A dark horse is a candidate or competitor about whom little is known, but who unexpectedly wins or succeeds. And that logic is very important for fantasy football because those players can win you leagues. So we have 6 dark horses we're going to talk about. You want to know who they are? Stick around for 7 seconds.
What's up, Zoners? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Jason, the lucky bastard youth will coming at you live from the West Coast. And this is the Fantasy Red Zone. This is a huge episode, Jason. Huge, man. Doing research for this show, I was like, holy shit, man. This is changing my late rounds, strategy. Huge, man. I got some people in the 12th, 13th rounds. They've got running back 2 potential, Jason. I put running back 1,000 with running back 2 potential. That is his jump, man. Undrafted, maybe running back 2. So hang around for that, dude. Before we get into the news for yous, there's some serious shit on that as well, Jason. Please tell the public how they can help this show, because we need it.
Yeah, if you guys made it this far, and if you enjoy 2 friends just talking about fantasy football, get our insight, subscribe, and press the like. We like likes. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about these dark horses. And we're also on Spotify at the Fantasy Red Zone. Tyler, I actually went and Googled and I put fantasy football dark horses and went to images. Don't do that. don't do that, please.
Well, now what I'm going to do, and now you tell me that, I'm waiting to get off this show so I can go check out some of those fantasy dark horses. Football secondary, Jason. It's all about the fantasy dark horse.
I spent like 30 minutes on it, man. Maybe longer than I should have. But I was like, ooh, wow, what? Impossible. Why does it look like that?
All right, man. Let's get into the news. Like I said, man, there's some life-altering shit here. And first off, man, one of my favorite players, he quit. He retired mid-game. He's like, hey, dude, I forget what happened, but he couldn't cover anybody anymore. He just went home. Undressed, walked out of that locker room, Jason. His brother was one of the most freakiest athletes of all time to play in the NFL, and he's super popular now. They also, and this is what makes it even sad, Jason, they've got another brother in jail for murder. Vontae Davis found dead at his home, 35 years old, man. I just turned 38, Jason. This guy was good looking, athletic, rich, and he still, felt the need to end everything. And I've been in the place where I wanted to end stuff. But you know what, man? Just go, dude, if you got the money, man, just go move to Thailand, get a different identity, open up a hot dog stand. You can do, your whole life is ahead of you, man. You're 35 years old. But Jason, these guys, it's not a matter of if they have CTE, it's they do have CTE, and how severe is it?
The first thing I noticed when I was reading this is that he was born in 1988. And I was like, man, he's younger than me. I was like, I thought he was going to be older, but no, he was younger. What, you said 35 years old? I did see a little caption saying the police think there's no foul play.
Yeah, Pat McAfee show, they're framing it as self-harm. And I mean,
okay.
What do we know about NFL players, post, like junior say-out type of stuff? I mean, it is a very common occurrence, Jason. Steroids. Their hormones are probably going crazy. They're retired. They don't know what the hell they're going to do with the rest of their lives. They're probably just sitting around doing nothing. I mean, I know it sounds like a good problem to have, but I'm sure it is a difficult life for some of these dudes.
Yeah, he was pretty good in his prime, too.
Dude, he was amazing during his prime. That fool was so fucking fast and could jump so high. I can't remember. When he came on, he had a couple years as like a lockdown corner. I remember that. But yeah, I just always thought he was hilarious. But yeah, man, I couldn't imagine just coming off. I mean, maybe they get on TRT or something afterwards, but your hormones and CTE, dude, is just a recipe for this. Like I said, dude, I mean, I'm sure he reached out. I'm sure he told people. I'm sure people knew that he was not doing well, but how much can you do? What do you do? Lock a person in their room or something, Jason? I don't know what you really can do.
It's a tough situation. It's a hard subject. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Let's brighten that up with another fucked up situation, Jason. Rashee Rice, hit and run, man. We got people going to the hospital. Did you see the videos? There was a dash cam. Dash cam. That's why I don't drive in the fast lane, Jason. If you're in the fast lane, you just use that shit to pass whoever you need to pass. Get over. Did you see the dash cam?
No, I didn't know there was a dash cam. I saw photos. These photos, the photos were just like him and like two of his buddies just like walking on the side of the road with this car.
Oh shit, man! They're just like, oh shit. Everybody's just filming him with their fucking phones. Like, oh my god, dude.
They're just walking. They're just, hey, that's someone's Ferrari over there. Shit.
Well, it was Rashee Rice's Corvette. But man, they were both in that fast lane. Took out the person in front of them. That person in front of them got hit by both cars. Dude, it was some serious. They were going so fast, dude. And you got a golden ticket, man. You're with Patrick Mahomes. This guy was going to be one of my breakout wide receivers. It's going to play into this, Jason. One of these. So yeah, Rashee Rice. I mean, you're probably going to get a value on him next year. He's going to be suspended for X amount of games. If it's a real hit and run like this shit is going down, I don't know what kind of time you get. Jason, all he has to do is get Andy Reid's son's lawyer, and he's going to be walking free by tomorrow.
Yeah. It's crazy stuff what these young kids with money will do. Like, you have everything in front of you, so you decide to go 200 miles per hour in a car, and I don't know. I don't get it. It's not me, but he turned himself in eventually, right? Did he say he did that?
Yeah, he was waiting until the alcohol ran out of his system.
Dude. No, right. I'm like, why would he walk away from this? I'm like, dude, he must have been like hammered or influenced by something. Under influence by something.
Right. And dude, I would imagine there's tests out there now that can like half-life shit until like, hey, you were fucked up at this time. We got dash cam footage. Yeah. But who knows, man? Who knows? Here we go, man. Another thing that's going to play in later. Commanders signed Jeremy McNichols, Jason, a running back from San Francisco. This is as of note because of right now they just have Bulletproof Rob and a couple of other dudes. They got rid of Antonio Gibson, so there is a slot to fill. Cliff Kingsbury is there, Jason. So this offense should be good-ish. Do you know who Jeremy McNichols is?
He was like the fourth string running back, right? Isn't he? He's like a small little dude. Like he's an Antonio Gibson size, right?
He was from Boise State. I guess he made a lot of bonehead decisions. He was really good for the Titans in preseason 1 year, and that was it. So, yeah, nothing to see here. But I do think, Jason, it gives me a little bit of confidence that they might not draft a running back this draft. So, one of my sleepers, man, we'll talk about that in a minute. But if they don't draft a running back, holy shit, this guy's got some potential.
They also have the Rodriguez still, right?
They've got Chris Rodriguez. They've got Austin Eckler. And they've got
Bulletproof
Rob, man.
That's so funny. I like that name, dude.
Fucking Bulletproof Rob. Jason, Denver signs. I like this. This is like, I'm pretty sure this dude's white. I mean, Throckmorton, offensive guard Throckmorton, who started 14 games for Sean Payton in 2021 with the Saints. So, Jason, man, Denver getting rid of all their wide receivers, continually building this offensive line. I think that a bounce back candidate of the year, even though I owned him, I traded for him late and he sucked, dude. He just sucked all season long. Javonte Williams, hey man, a year out of that injury, he might be a bounce back player of the year next year.
Do you smell what the Throck is cooking?
I was like, who the fuck, Throckmorton? I was like, did I spell it? I was like typing this out, and checking the spelling like 10 times. What the fuck is this shit, dude? It's related to Jason Utenwalt.
Well, yeah, Sean Payton is just continuing to build that offensive line. He probably feels he's like, yo, I don't have the star players that I need, so I'm just going to buff up this offensive line and make them look good. I guess, right? We always say offensive line wins and loses games.
Worst case scenario, man. I mean, you got an offensive lineman to help other people with your scheme, so.
Yeah.
All right, man. Not much in the news. So
Sutton actually turned himself in.
It's so funny. I was like, dude, I saw that. That was the only other news, and I was like, there's too much shit going on. I can't talk about all this.
Honorable mention. That's going to be my judge name if I was ever a judge.
I've never
Honorable
heard that
mention.
before.
Enter the courtroom. Please
Honorable mention. Mr. Mention. Yeah, honor Honorable mention. That's pretty funny, Jason. Jason.
Yeah.
What do you call a chameleon that can't? What is? What is wrong with a reptile? Or shit. What is wrong with a chameleon that can't change colors?
The colorblind.
He has a reptile dysfunction.
Oh, hey, they got medicine for that now.
Dude, you use that wherever you are. Just use that joke. Everybody thinks you're hilarious.
They're like, damn. My joke is normally like,
yeah, even straight shooters, Jason, like super, I don't like dirty jokes. You're like, a reptile dysfunction. They're like, oh, my dick. my
oh, don't worry about me. Oh, wow. Talk to my wife. I tell you what, a glass of wine and yeah.
I got a problem. My dick's too hard. Jason, speaking of that.
Yeah. P. Diddy. Let's go.
P. Diddy. More money, more problems. Are you? Am I right? Fuck.
Yeah.
More money and more problems were the names of his two sex slaves in the fucking basement.
Oh God. Yeah. Oh man.
That's terrible. Jason, back on track. This is this is a family show. What are you talking about, Jason? What do you want to start with? I can't remember if I was doing odds or evens.
I don't think we had odds. We didn't really have numbers.
I want you to go because I've been talking so much.
Okay.
I know you got somebody. We're going to the sleepers. Dude, this is our, not sleepers, Jason. What do we call dark horses?
Google it. But don't go to the images. Let's start with Gus Edwards. I'm going to throw him on here. I'm not really, I haven't done any mock drafts or anything. I'm not sure where they have this guy.
Oh, here, I'll show you.
Oh, you know?
I'll look it up. Yeah, Mike Boone's got the most respected dude's got his top 200, and he had two of my three players on at least. Yeah,
tell me what round he's going to have this guy going. There's a good chance that he might be too low, maybe. So Edwards is a downhill runner. He's physical and has a nose for the end zone with 13 touchdowns last year. Just explaining that, that just makes me feel like that is a Jim Harbaugh running back. That's a description of a Jim Harbaugh running back. As of right now, he's at the top of the Chargers depth chart at the running back. And Chargers GM stated that he sees Gus Edwards as a workhorse, not a dark horse, but a workhorse. Well, us fantasy managers can only hope so. Edwards had a career high in carries with 198, while sharing with three other runners on the team. I was including Lamar Jackson on there. Right now, Isaiah Spiller is a Chargers' other running back. And Chargers signed Edwards to a 2-year deal, which is really, if you look at it, it's actually just a 1-year deal. So I bet they will run him to the ground. They're just going to use him to the fullest this year. I would expect those carries to increase over 200 for next year. Chargers also signed center Bradley Bosman, who has experience with OC Greg Norman. So the name Gus Edwards, it's not really sexy for fantasy football, but now playing for a gym and probably getting a lot of carries behind an improved offensive line while being the goal line back. So keep eye on this guy pre-draft.
Jason, right now, I think that he is like a Raheem Mostert of last season. He's ranked 101 overall. That's like, 9th round, something like that. He's ranked behind Brian Robinson Jr., who we'll talk about. He's behind Chuba Hubbard, Jason. He's like, dude, there is some behind Chase Brown, for God's sakes. And it says he's on the Chargers. And this is pretty much the most respected dude as far as rankings goes in fantasy football. So, if this keeps up, Gus Edwards is going to be I get it, dude. He gets injured every single year. But the juice is worth the squeeze, Jason. You got to do it. Literally, like Raheem Mostert.
I keep thinking, I'm like, who's the running back for Harbaugh when he was with the 49ers? Was Frank Gore. I am not comparing the two at all. But the one thing that I do know is that when they get to the goal line, they're going to punch that ball in with their running back like they did with Frank Gore. And Gus Edwards, this possible workhorse that the GM said, he's going to be at the goal line. He had 13 touchdowns last year. he could probably get that again this year.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't remember what I was watching. Oh yeah, as far as high scoring teams, Baltimore was up there, dude. I think they were top 3. I know Dallas was number 1. Jason, New York Cowboys, and they were one of the top 3 rushing teams as well. So they were one of the. San Francisco was like this too. They ran the ball a ton, and they also scored a lot. So we need to see if the Chargers are actually going to score a lot of points, though, Jason. So I do believe that when they get close, that's it. But it's hard to I mean, double-digit touchdowns for, I would bet the over. Like, if it was like 10.5, or something like that, I would definitely bet the over. I cannot see Gus Edwards not scoring 10-plus touchdowns this season. And if you're telling me I get that in the 9th round, dude,
yeah,
that's amazing. And then you get the bonus of, like, say they do get Joe Alt-Delete, that amazing offensive tackle, and everybody comes back healthy, and who knows what they're going to be doing, in some of the other shit. I mean, this team could be super dominant, score a lot of points by running the ball, Jason. So that's your floor, I think, is double-digit touchdowns with the ceiling of, like, fucking LT's record, dude.
Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah, see, I was also thinking about, like, I'm like, dude, he keeps buffing up. Jim keeps buffing up the offensive line. Like, what about the draft when they get Joe Alt-Delete? Maybe. But I was really trying to take out the consideration about, with the draft being so close. I'm like, I was really sticking, like, this is before the draft, like right here, right now, if the draft was today.
So yeah, I still think that you're right. And I don't know what would be better for Gus Edwards, Jason, them drafting the Romeo Dunze for another number 1 wide receiver, or getting that offensive tackle. Like, I don't know what would be better for him.
Yeah.
Because, dude, everybody's going to be lining up to stop the run against Jim Harbaugh, dude. And I don't think they're going to be able to do it. But, dude, Gus Edwards will just be like averaging 1 yard a carry. He'll get 35 yards and 3 touchdowns a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, Jason, I looking at where he's ranked right now, I think that's amazing. That's an amazing choice. All right, Mr. Jason, you ready for me?
Yes, please.
I got a guy. It's not even ranked, man. This guy's not even ranked. And he was on my waiver wire, dude. He was on my waiver wire show for like 3 weeks. He finally popped, man. He popped, full popped. He's like running back 1 numbers, top 5 running back numbers, Jason. Then he went on IR that same day.
That same day.
Chris Rodriguez. So if you don't know who this guy was, man, we were all sitting around waiting for Antonio Gibson, Jason, to pop last season, man, because it's like, come on, man, how much of this shit can you watch of Brian Robinson just running into a wall as though it seems? And then this guy, just looking at the box scores every single week, man, was like 6 yards a carry, 6 yards a carry, 6 yards a carry. He ended the season as running back 78. That's not good. He was a 6th round rookie last year. That's not good either, Jason. Not a lot of draft capital. I usually like him 3rd round and up. Antonio Gibson is gone. Just him and Bulletproof Rob, right? Right? No, dude. They went and got fucking 82-year-old Austin Eckler, Jason. He's literally taken from Social Security right now. He was 13, got clocked at 13 miles an hour, dude. This fool had the worst running back metrics of almost like out of any running back with his amount of carries, Jason, last season. Now, you're telling me that Bulletproof Rob and Austin Eckler are going to a team? Like, I would think that team is going to get so tired of watching these 2 dickholes get tackled with sneezes, Jason. Literally, a shadow will overcome their face, and they're going to hit the ground, man. They're going to get tackled by shadows. The shadow realm. He's sent to the shadow realm. But I'm just saying, dude, there's a new coaching regime in here. These people didn't draft. They brought in Austin Eckler on a 2-year, $8 million deal. That's $4 million a year. That's not that much. And then they got fucking Bulletproof Rob is still on his rookie deal, Jason, and they did not draft him. So this guy, Jason, Chris Rodriguez, 2nd in yards after contact per attempt. Did you know that? 2.4 yards. This fool was at Bulldozer last year.
No, I didn't know that.
I read that and I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I don't remember this. I remember his yards per carry. Like, that was good. Dude, Brian Robinson was at 1.7, so almost a full yard behind. He finished with a 77.1 PFF grade. That was 37th, but this was his rookie year with limited touches, man. And Brian Robinson graded out to 75. So Brian Robinson was a lower graded running back. He had 8 carries inside the 5 last year and converted 2 for touchdowns. Dude, he scored those 2 touchdowns in one game when he was averaging almost 6 yards a carry versus the Jets last week. He scored like 20 fantasy points, and then he got his, IR with his ankle surgery. Cliff Kingsbury, man, new OC. James Conner, man, was running back 5 in 2021, Jason. He didn't even catch the ball, man. That was all short yardage touchdowns, man. Kenyon Drake was a top 12 running back in 2020, and he missed like 4 games with an injury. We got this Chris Rodriguez, man, 6 foot 220. James Conner, 6 foot 1, 229. He is running back 1,000 with running back 2 upside, Jason. I mean, if they get tired of watching these 2 assholes just getting tackled by arm tackle, man. I watched Brian Robinson, man. He gets tackled easy. And then Austin Eckler, I had to watch that shit too. He is slow and gets tackled easy. There will be a chance, Jason, if they do not draft a running back who they just brought in another running back, if they do not draft another one, man, I will be drafting Chris Rodriguez in every single league at the end of my draft.
Yeah. Does it seem like the Commanders are like really trying to push Brian Robinson to be a good running back? I mean, what we've seen out of the last 2 years, he did improve a little bit, but not enough to even be like, oh my God, he had a great jump. No, he like did great in the beginning, and then he kind of just like trailed off. I feel like they're like, dude, we drafted this guy. We got to show that we didn't screw up, They're really pushing him. I don't think it's going to work out. We've seen Eckler. I'm pretty sure I can run faster than him now, and that's saying a lot. But I'm going to the stats of Rodriguez, and like, dude, he had only one game that was under 4 yards per carry. The games he had a rush, Tyler, 5.8, 3.5, 4.1, 5.2, 7.2, 4.4, 5.8. I'm like, looking at this. I'm like, this guy just needs the opportunities. He needs to get the ball more. You said against the Jets, he had 2 touchdowns. He did get the ball 10 times that game. That was tied for his season high. He needs to get the ball more. This guy, he has shown that he's a runner. He is capable of running the ball. Dodging tackles, breaking tackles, whatever. He needs to get the ball more.
Antonio Gibson, Jason, got 9 carries that game and had like 2 yards a carry. And then this fool had like almost 6 and 2 touchdowns. And, yeah, man, I'm just saying there is a good shot. I mean, he's not going to be a world beater. He's not going to be a running back 1, but he can be a running back 2, like with some given opportunities. So I really like Chris Rodriguez heading into next season. He finished cumulative 4.8 yards per carry. B-Rob had 4.1. Austin Eckler had 0.001. So
he was running backwards.
But yeah, man, Chris Rodriguez, he's one of the guys I started doing research on. And I was like, I think I'm going to be drafting him in every single league if they don't draft a running back, man.
Isn't it crazy how this is when we do research on these players? We're like, oh my gosh, this guy's good.
Hey, don't unsubscribe and do your own research. Just listen to us.
Yeah.
Save your own time.
Yeah.
Spend time with your family.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said. All right.
Who's next?
Let's do... Nope. I'm going to wait for that one. Because that's Tyler's baby. Jameson Williams.
Yeah.
Okay. Wide receiver for Detroit. He's only played 12 games in 2 years because of injuries and suspensions. And yet, Dan Campbell goes on the record to say, by the end of the year, we really felt he was coming into his own. Oh, whatever, Dan Campbell. I don't believe you. But wait. The Lions let Josh Reynolds go to the Broncos. That leaves 65 targets unattended. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sam Laporta will get theirs. Well, who will be next? Maybe Khalif Raymond, who averaged 2.5 targets a game, while Williams averaged 3.6 in 12 games. Now, Williams averaged 37 snaps a game, while Raymond averaged 48. With Raymond's departure, or is it Raymond's departure? No, Reynolds. With Reynolds' departure, I believe Williams will be on the field, which means more big play opportunities for Jameson Williams. I feel this is just a process of elimination. Last year, he was like wide receiver 4 for the team, I believe. Now he's wide receiver 3 because Reynolds, the big play guy, he gone. So I feel like they put a lot of trust in this Jameson Williams guy, who's still going to be like the third option on the team. But still, because of his speed, because he's the downhill threat, this guy you're gonna get him after Amon-Ra St. Brown, after Jahmyr Gibbs, after Sam Laporta. But he's going to have an easier chance, a better chance of getting you those 60-yard touchdowns, and he's going to be getting more targets and opportunities to do that for next year. And that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I'm looking at where he's ranked right now, Jason. 109, so again, like in that 10th round. Late, whatever. That's behind Gus Edwards that you were just talking about. But as far as wide receivers go, same ranking as Josh Downs, who I think is pretty similar. So I'm okay with that. Like I think that him and Josh Downs are in that same breath or whatever. The wide receiver ahead of him is Mike Williams. And Mike Williams, yeah, he might do good, but man, they're both going to be super consistent. But yeah, Jason, Jameson Williams, I remember them saying after week 16 or week 7, I can't remember, but they had a specific week on there where they said he came around and then he started being targeted a lot more. I traded for him early. I ended up dropping him. But yeah, man, like there was a point, Jason, where like half of the times he had a reception in his career, he had a touchdown, like a 50-yard touchdown. And he reached over 20-something miles an hour on like 80% of the plays he ever got the ball or something. So like, dude, he was the number 1 overall drafted wide receiver in the draft class with who, dude? Chris Olave and shit? I'm pretty sure. So
yeah, I think so. I think you're
this
right.
guy's an alien. It is so weird that he was with Ben Johnson has not broken out yet. It's like all mental. So yeah, I don't know. I remember I gave up on him when Ben Johnson said there's still a long ways to go before he starts seeing the field more. And I was like, dude, I can't wait around for this shit. But dude, Jason, like you said, there's targets. And if they do not draft a wide receiver, which they should not, I mean, they got other stuff going on, man. They hit on Sam Laporta and Gibbs. They've got Amon-Ra and this dude. I'm sure they will go elsewhere. So yeah, I think Jameson Williams. Would you draft him in the 10th round, Jason, or 9th round?
I think I would probably go 10th. Depending on how I draft.
You're looking. I would because Rome Odunze. I would probably rather have Rome Odunze. They've got him. They don't know where he's going to go yet. But like Brandon Cooks, I'd much rather have Jameson Williams, Jerry Jeudy, Marvin Mims. I'd probably think about Marvin Mims and Jameson in the same breath. But yeah, man, Jahan Dotson, Gabe Davis. Joshua Palmer we'll talk about in a little bit, and I think I would rather have Joshua Palmer over Jameson Williams, but that's still kind of weird.
Yeah.
So, they're all in the same tier is what I'm looking at right now.
The one thing I really wanted to emphasize when I was going over this is like what I said in the beginning. Out of 2 years, he's only played 12 games.
Jeez.
Technically, that is still rookie status. He hasn't even played a full year of games yet. So next year, when he reaches when he goes like to game 16, game 20 of his career, I really think we're going to see like a jump with him if, like you said, they don't go after a quarter or a wide receiver in the draft. I think it's somebody you could keep an eye on. He's going to big play possibility with more opportunities to get those big plays.
I think his ceiling is a top 24 wide receiver. Or no, top 15, sorry. Because, there's always 2 teams, Jason, that can support 2 top 15 wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jared Goff could do that if Jameson Williams just stepped up. So, because he's never going to outproduce Amon-Ra. But I think his ceiling is a top 15 wide receiver. And getting that in the 10th round, dude, especially these days, is really, really good. So when you think about it that way, his ceiling is where it should be. Or as a steal, really, in that part of the draft.
He was better in man coverage than he was in zone. Like, there was a huge difference.
Yeah, because he when it's just all physical ability, yeah. But when it comes to mental, in zone, sitting down in zone or reading the coverage, he's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I think that's what he had to learn from.
Right. So, Jameson Williams, man, super high draft pick to be considered a dark horse, man. And that is not, and he is a dark horse. He is a sleeper. So, like, if you think about probabilities for sleepers becoming huge superstars, this guy probably leads because of his draft capital and his physical talent. And his offense. But, Jason, here we go. Next up, man, are you good to go on?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, man. If this guy went anywhere else, I don't think I would care. Luis something Zammit, 6'3", rugby player. He runs a 4.44 and has hit over 24 miles an hour. That's Michael Scott numbers, Jason. On the pitch, the pitch is the pitch is the rugby field. Rashee Rice went over 100 miles an hour this weekend. That's 4 times as faster than this guy.
They're not Dutch.
Hybrids, Jason. When you want to compare, you're looking around. You're like, this guy is a hybrid running back, wide receiver. He was like one of the what was he, like the youngest World Cup rugby player, like to do something of all time. I should have this somewhere. I'll fucking say it later. 3-year contract with some guaranteed money. I fucked it up, Jason. Anyways, dude, Debo and CMC is what we can relate this player to. They ran 4.8. Debo did, and then Christian McCaffrey was like a 5 something. So when you're looking at these hybrid players, it's not that speed matters that much. 3-year contract with some guaranteed money. That means he is pretty much guaranteed to make the 53-man roster cut. But if not, he gets they do get one extra practice squad slot for an international player. But everything that I read is this 3-year contract pretty much guarantees him a 53-man roster spot. Rashee Rice, we just talked about, who knows what's going to happen with this fool. Who knows, man? And that's it. They don't have any other wide receiver. They got Hollywood Brown, and Hollywood Brown is on a 1-year contract, Jason. And, dude, everybody that they've been bringing in has not worked. What works with Patrick Mahomes is knowing how to move that secondary reads. That's why Travis Kelce's there. I'm surprised that Mecole Hardman did not have great success last year doing that. But, dude, it's a very special connection you have to have with Mahomes. Greg Cosell talks about it. The Chiefs, he's 23 years old, dude. And he was the joint 3rd top scorer at the Rugby World Cup in 2023. So this guy is like literally like a fucking superstar. He's like Cristiano Ronaldo of the rugby world, Jason. And I'm serious. Like, he's like the youngest, baddest dude. And he's like, fuck this, I'm going to go play football. So that blew everybody's minds, Jason. And he goes going to go to the Chiefs with the one coach that would know how to use him. Like, dude, I'm telling you. I mean, I would probably trust Shanahan, but still, Andy Reid, man, he gets Michael Vick out of jail and makes him look like the best quarterback of all time.
Oh, man.
So he should be able to contribute as a kick returner as well with the new rules. Like, that is literally a rugby play. And I think that this is what we're talking about here, Jason. What if Andy Reid starts some kind of new lateral rugby type of plays that blows the NFL's minds, right? Just like the Wildcat did like 10 years ago. I had Ronnie Brown that season. I think I won, or at least made it to the finals. I didn't have to do shit, man. Just started Ronnie Brown every single week. Literally, this could change the NFL for a couple years, or just be a huge wave hit on the NFL. You saw Travis Kelce lateraling back. They could literally make plays like that, Jason, and blow people's dicks off. I'm telling you, this is a small, it's a non-zero chance that this could happen.
I don't know how to really look up stats for this. He was born February 2nd, 2021.
Oh, wait. He was born in 2021?
2001. Damn it. 2001. Tyler, we were freshmen. We were only freshmen. I don't know how true this source is, but apparently he ran a 40-yard dash, and his times were 4.5 and 4.44, which he said was later disappointing because he usually runs in the 4.2s and 4.3s.
Everybody thought he was going to run like a 4.3 because of how fast he is on the rugby field, but it's a good thing that people are like, oh, usually they're like, you run a fast at the combine, they're like, oh, you don't look that fast on the field. This time, this guy ran a 4.44, and everybody's like, well, you look way faster than that on the field.
Yeah. They're kind of comparing him to, like, he has the power of Derrick Henry.
This is getting a little out of hand, Jason.
It's called the mirror. This is the Black Mirror. No, it's not the Black Mirror, but
he's had to have special shorts taken because his dick touches the ground.
And that's why he got 4.5 instead of 4.2.
He's smarter than Albert Einstein. And he's going to throw the ball to himself as well.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. He's a dominant player. He helped Wells. Yeah.
What do you think about what I said about the starting a whole new type of wildcat lateral crazy shit? I mean, it's been a long time. Every once in a while, these things happen in the NFL, Jason, that just kind of revolutionized stuff for a year in fantasy football.
Yeah, that like especially like with the Wildcat, like that came back out of nowhere. I think they actually started it because was it Ronnie Brown and did they have Ricky Williams at that time, or did he come in the following year?
I think he was there, and I had Ronnie Brown.
They did that. They came up with that formation because they're like, this is how we beat the New England Patriots, and that's when it first came out. And that's how they beat them that year. Ronnie Brown, I think, had like 4 touchdowns, like you said, and maybe even threw one, or that was part of the total touchdowns. But
dude, I know he threw one and did something, and then was like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
what is the trade value of Ronnie Brown? It's like 5 players.
Yep, and they still kind of run the Wildcat a little bit, but yeah, he could come up with something. He could do just straight up like in the backfield and quarterback draw, like just give this guy the ball, give all the blockers. He knows how to use them apparently, and just run.
I'm telling you, man, like, there is a better chance than anybody else that could happen. And you're going to be spending a 14 round for the last pick of your draft. You could get this guy. All right, Mr. Jason. What's up next for you?
Okay. It's time to talk about your boy, Mr. Wilson. Michael Wilson.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. We have an obligation to talk about Michael Wilson because of right now, he's the Cardinals wide receiver 1. Marquise Brown went to the Chiefs, and Rondale Moore went to the Falcons. And other wide receivers on that team are Zach Pascal, and Chris Moore, and a 5'7" Greg Dulcich, but I do like Greg Dulcich for big play potential. There's a chance managers in your league might forget about Wilson. Last year wasn't great. He averaged 0.26 fantasy points per route run. He was held without a catch in 2 straight games. And like college, he missed games because of injuries. But here's the kicker. Marquise Brown didn't finish the season because of the heel injury. So when Michael Wilson had to step up and be that wide receiver 1 guy, 15.5 points in week 17 and week 18. He ended the year like a stud. A stud that we're now talking about here today. Another crazy stat, when Wilson plays against man, he had a total of 1 PPR point for the season. But against zone, he led the Cardinals with 82 PPR points and led in air yards in zone coverage as well. So in man, it's like cheddar cheese, but in zone, it's like Swiss cheese because he finds the holes. And Murray finds him. I know rumors are Cardinals are selecting Marvin Harrison Jr., but that gives even more reason why Wilson would be a dark horse.
Jason, I think it's actually good, to get that burner on the outside. I don't think he's a true wide receiver 1. But, man, who do we listen to around here, Jason? There's 2 people. I don't know if you can think of 2 of them that you and I trust with wide receiver evaluations.
I trust one.
Which one is it?
2. I trust Steve Smith.
Steve Smith, and I like TJ Houshmandzadeh.
Yeah.
I've been listening to TJ Houshmandzadeh for a while. He went to my college, Jason, so you wouldn't understand the connection that we have.
The blood spilt.
You think that we're best friends, man? You think that you and I...
Damn you, TJ!
I'll text you, TJ, after the show. But no, this guy, man, he was all about Puka Nacua and Michael Wilson. He said, I'm telling you, man, he was talking about the wide receiver coming out of Stanford all offseason, more than he was talking about Puka Nacua. I think Michael Wilson actually went in the 3rd round, where Puka went in the 5th. And, man, he was on my waiver shop. I talked about him all fucking year, Jason. And I was like, dude, you got to get this guy. And then he finally broke out, and then he injured himself. He broke out without Kyler Murray that first time. So that was big time for week 18 for him to show some chemistry. All you hear about this guy is the route running. Watch him. Just watch him. It's his route running. It's all the timing and route running. I felt like I was watching Puka Nacua when I was watching this guy. It's like, yeah, they knew that it was going to go to this guy. Like the game, his big games, it's like they knew it was going to go to him and they couldn't stop him. And Jason, when you talk about zone, this is a very heady player. The opposite of Jameson Williams does not rely on his physical talents. It's almost like Puka Nacua, man. It's all about route running. It's all it is. And they can kill zone that way. So sitting in the pocket and let's get some freak out here like Malik Neighbors or Marvin Harrison Jr. or whatever, and then let this guy work the zones. For where he's going to go, Jason, I probably will be trying to draft Michael Wilson, but I think the biggest risk is injury, man, because I was waiting for him to come back so long last year. I had to take him off my waiver wire show. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's you can't talk shit about Michael Wilson, man. If you watch him, you would know exactly what kind of player you're going to get. And he's got a potential to demand 10 targets every single game. And if Trey McBride wasn't on that team, Jason, I would feel even better about this.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason why right now, with Trey McBride being on the team, he could be a possible dark horse.
Jason, oh, yeah, sorry.
No, go on. What?
Michael Wilson is going around. I almost had this guy as my dark horse, Demarcus Robinson. I would rather have Michael Wilson. You know, Michael Wilson's going to be the number 2 option. I mean, at least he's got the second wide receiver. But he's ranked 180, Jason. So you can get Michael Wilson, 10th, 14th round, later than that, 15th, 16th round. So Michael Wilson will be going as an undrafted player almost, and he will be a flex option most weeks.
Yeah,
PPR.
I forgot what I was going to say about it.
I'm sorry, man.
No, you're fine. Oh, I was like, we've been hearing a lot in the past couple of weeks. Our rumors, our Blackberries are lit up with all these rumors of 4 quarterbacks going in the top 4 picks, which means if that's the case, then there's a good chance the Cardinals trade down and can't get Marvin Harrison Jr. If that's the case, does Wilson's stock rise to, I don't know, how high can it get? 8th round? 6th round? I mean, because now he becomes the number 1 wide receiver for Kyler Murray, not including, Trey McBride.
Yeah, I don't think there's a scenario where they do not walk away with anybody less than Rome Odunze. I do think that they could trade back a couple picks and pick up Rome or Malik Neighbors. I think that Malik Neighbors would be the best case scenario for Michael Wilson because I know that Marvin Harrison Jr. is not like a burner, but he's supposed to be the next Hall of Fame player. They're gonna feed him like he's Larry Fitzgerald. And then Malik Neighbors is a 4.3 guy. He's going to be burning, doing, maybe specific routes. They're not going to just hyper target him. I think that Michael Wilson's best bet would be if they drafted Malik Neighbors. But Jason, I don't think they get with Kyler Murray and all that shit, that contract. I mean, I think they have to go. They drafted offensive line last season, 1st round. They have to go wide receiver, I think, this year.
One thing I wanted to add in there, too, is that if they do go after Marvin Harrison Jr., there's a good possibility that he will go 6-8 games without even really performing. And also, I see Marvin Harrison Jr. being like the man versus man wide receiver, right? You can already tell his route running skills. He's going to be able to get separation, while Michael Wilson will be the zone guy. And in the NFL, defenses mainly run zone.
Yep, it was like the low was like high 60% of running zone. So
yeah,
at most you're running a little bit over 30% man. So really zone is what kills. That's what Travis Kelce only does. I mean, he does good in zone. That's it. So it's just like,
Yep.
There is a fantasy-wise zone is important. All right, Mr. Jason. Last up, man.
Here we go.
17 minutes to fuck around with, but hey, we're not going to waste your time. Actually, oh yeah, we talked about this guy. This guy could be huge. Huge, Jason. Just like his big yellow gloves. Joshua.
Like 6'3", 6'5".
Palmer.
Oh, here we go.
Shit, I forgot to look at this guy's. Did I look at this guy's height? I thought this guy was. No, I didn't write down. I was like, he finished the season as wide receiver 65, Jason. He had Easton Stick, man. That Easton Stick last whatever. He missed 6 games. Come on, man. So it was a forget about season for Joshua Palmer. But when he did play, dude, best game versus the Raiders week 15. I was watching this because I told somebody not to start Joshua. Oh, I picked up Joshua Palmer and I didn't know if I should start him or not. I sat him and I was like, oh, thank God, dude. Joshua Palmer's got no points. They're getting beat 60-0 at halftime. He got a 79-yard touchdown, had a couple more catches, 21 fantasy points. Dude, he was a third-round draft pick, too, Jason, like 2 years or 3 years ago? Yeah, dude, third-round draft pick in 2021. So that is not nothing. 24 years old on the last year of his rookie deal. One more time here, people. Last year of a rookie deal. He needs to perform right now. That is important with wide receivers a lot of the times. Mike Williams and Keenan Allen gone, dude. We got Quentin Johnson here? Fucking old QJ? Rather have a BJ. Week 18 without Allen or Williams, Palmer had 10 targets despite a 58% snap share, dude. So usually you're in there, if you're number one wide receiver, usually you're in there for like 90% of snaps, some crazy shit. This guy got 10 targets on 58%. In games without a healthy Williams, he averaged almost 11 fantasy points per game. During the final 3 games of the year with neither Williams, Allen, or Justin Herbert, he did hit 20% target share, a 23% target rate per route run, and averaged like 12 fantasy points per game. That was wide receiver 25. So if you tell me floor is wide receiver 25 with Easton Stick, dude, and that was such a bad... They gave up on their coach last year, Jason. That was just a terrible situation. Harbaugh quoted about the most important position group and expected... So, like, you know, they were... Jason, I just talked to you about this. They were like, hey, man, what do you think is... how do you feel about this team and stuff? And he just started going off about the offensive line being the most important position group because they make everybody better and they are not dependent on anybody else making them better. So it's just everything, man. Everything is going offensive line. I do not think they're going to get Rome Odunze or anybody else. And if they don't get Rome Odunze or better, I am all in on Joshua Palmer, man. Like I said, third round draft pick. This guy has produced. I remember 2 years ago without Keenan Allen, man, this guy was lighting it up, Jason. So he's been a great wide receiver for them with their fucking crazy injuries at wide receiver all the time. He should be a wide receiver 3 with wide receiver 2 upside. So you're probably going to have to draft him as a wide receiver 3 if they don't draft anybody. I don't know, dude. He might be drafted. We'll see how that goes. But I think he could be a wide receiver 2 for you, Jason. Currently ranked 133rd overall, man. That's 11th or 12th round. So, Jason, if they do not draft a wide receiver, man, this guy will be a steal. And even if they do draft a wide receiver, I think the system can support one wide receiver, Jason. And I think that it will still be maybe 50-50 between that because I don't know if Jim Harbaugh really wants to throw a rookie wide receiver out there and trust him all the time because he seems like a guy that doesn't want mistakes. So I think that the juice is worth the squeeze, even regardless of who is drafted for this for Joshua Palmer.
Yeah, I think the most important thing that you covered right there is that the games that he played at the end of the year was with sticks. Somebody who couldn't move the sticks.
Yeah.
That was the quarterback. We got Justin Herbert coming back next year. He's an elite quarterback, one of the better ones in the league. And like you said, there's going to be one wide receiver that's going to stand out in Jim Harbaugh's offense. I think you pretty much nailed this, man. Even if they do draft a wide receiver, how much confidence are they going to have him as wide receiver 1 running out there while Palmer already has the chemistry? And I do think QJ looks like he's going to be a straight up bust unless he gets like on that D-ball steroids, man, and like shoots to the moon because right now, and that's even a thing, Tyler, like, do they really want to go and get
I was like, he's like fucking just launched it, man.
That's what I was thinking that DK Metcalf commercial where he jumped up and like caught that ball. I'm like, what if like he just took some D-ball and he kept going? He hit that moon.
You can't tell me that DK Metcalf's not on fucking roids.
What? Skittle diet, right? Is it candy?
That's all it is.
Like,
amino acids and creatine.
How often do we see a team draft a wide receiver in the first 2 rounds in back-to-back years? I don't think it really happens that much. And since they got QJ last year, like, if they get somebody, it's going to be like maybe a 3rd rounder. right? If they're getting a running back in the second round, maybe then they'll have to wait till the third round to get it. And by then, like, are you really putting out a third round wide receiver out there in front of Joshua Palmer? So I think you pretty much nailed it, dude. This guy could be a league winner, and you could get him late. And Fantasy Pros have him 6'1".
Oh, thank you. Yes, I didn't think he was 6'3" because I was like, oh man, is he tall? I didn't think he was.
He's not
Yeah,
tall
Jason. Not tall as a. Yeah, look at where that. I'm sitting in my fucking garage trying to do a fantasy show for free. Look how far that got me.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. But yeah, Jason, and I do want to throw out there can always be, Jim Harbaugh does know wide receivers more, know college players better than almost any other head coach. He could draft a Puka Nacua or a Michael Wilson, and he could overtake it. But I'm just saying, without knowing this type of small stuff that will be 2020 later on, looking back, I think that Joshua Palmer will be the best bet this offseason. And dude, where you got him, man? It's like 133rd overall. It's like, this is the type of shit. This is like Raheem Mostert type of shit. Just get these guys that can really, that can take over starting jobs or whatever, and throw your darts, man, and hit on a couple, and then you win your fucking league.
Yep.
So, anyways, Jason, that's the show. 6 dark horses, all different from what Jason saw on his computer earlier today.
No, it was late last night, like at 1
Oh,
in the morning.
even better, Jason.
It was weird.
When you couldn't even see out your window, you don't know who's looking in, who's looking out.
Yeah, I was like just going through the blinds. Back to the Google image.
Hey, we'll be here later on in the week too, people. Calm down. I was just telling Jason how much I hate laugh tracks. I like the applause tracks.
Oh, I clicked the wrong one. I meant to do the laughing one, and it didn't quite work. I got too anxious, and my thumb, I had a twitch, nervous twitch.
I hear you. All right, man. Hopefully we earned a thumbs up. Hopefully we earned a subscription. Just look at our subscribers, man. We need to get over 1,000. Please help us do that. We can't get over 1,000 unless you subscribe right now, man. Help us. Jason, please send us out.
Yeah, we got a video coming. Oh, shoot. I keep forgetting, dude. I'm so used to saying Saturday morning.
Live.
But actually, we're going to be live probably 5 o'clock. Probably this upcoming Friday. Join us. Ask some questions. We'll be there. Are you going to be there? Let us know. We'll see you then. I'll talk to you then. Deuces.
It's the Fantasy Red Zone, and we appreciate you.